Assalamu alaikum everyone, you are watching Science with Asan Badhan. So this is the next part of our video today. Question number 8 says, the diagram shows a pot made of clay. So here is the pot, we can see that it is an irregular object. Okay, so the question says, describe a method that could be used to accurately determine the volume of clay used in the pot. Okay, so since we are measuring the volume here, so you can use the format of submerging it into water and measuring the volume change in a measuring cylinder. Okay, so write down the answer here, that use a measuring cylinder half filled with water with a known volume let the initial volume be V0, then completely let the pot sink into the water and get a new volume of water, which is VF or final volume. Then use the formula volume of the pot equals to V final minus V initial. So we will subtract the change in volume to get the volume of the pot. Okay, then there are some safety precautions, obviously, so that water does not spill over. So we need to also repeat the experiment several times. So repeat several times and take the average reading. Make sure water does not spill over. And it is not fully filled. Okay, so this is the answer for this question. Let's move on to number B. Give the name of a piece of apparatus that could be used to measure the mass of the clay pot. Okay, so we are measuring the mass here. So mass is easily can be measured using a weighing machine or an electronic balance. So we can just write weighing machine. Number C says the clay pot can be used to hold liquids. A student needs to determine the volume of a liquid that can be contained in the pot. The student measures the mass of the empty pot and then measures the mass of the pot again when it's filled with a liquid. Okay, the table shows the student's measurements. We need to find the density is given. We need to find the volume over here. Okay, so when the mass of the empty pot is 1.2 kg, so mass 1.2 kg is given. The mass of the pot filled with the liquid is 6.8. So the mass of the liquid should be 6.8 minus 1.2, which should give us 5.6 kg. So this is the mass of the liquid, and the volume has to be measured. The density is given already, and since the mass unit is given in SI unit, so we do not need to convert the units. So let's just derive the formula. Volume equals to mass per unit density. Okay, so the mass is given here 5.6 kg and the density is given 920 kg per meter cube. So the answer that we will get, that should be in meter cube, and we should get 0.00 0.61 meter cube. Okay, so we are done with question number 8. Let's move on to the next question, number 9. Okay, the question says, the photograph shows a car being driven along a straight racetrack. The car starts from a rest and accelerates along the straight racetrack. After crossing the finish line, the driver applies the brakes to bring the car to rest. The graph shows how the velocity of the car changes with time after the car starts to accelerate. Okay, so this is the graph given, velocity time graph. In the A part, the question says, what feature of the graph gives the magnitude of the acceleration of the car? So magnitude of the acceleration. You can see that this is a velocity time graph, and the gradient of the graph would give us the acceleration. So your answer should be number D. Okay, next move on to the B part. At which point on the graph does the driver of the car apply the brakes? Okay, so when the car starts to decelerate, at that point the person applies the brakes, so it should be in Q. So your answer should be B. Number C says, explain why the graph is a curve for the first 11.0 seconds. Okay, so since it is a curve, this means there is a changing increase in velocity. Okay, so this can be due to air resistance. This can be due to any resistive forces on the road or in the car. Okay, so let's write it down since it says to explain. So at first we have to talk about the resultant force. So air resistance or resistive forces increases as the car speeds up. Thus the resultant force decreases. Causing a deceleration in causing a decrease in the acceleration. So since we are getting the gradient as the acceleration, so less or decrease in acceleration means decrease in gradient. So gradient decreases. Okay, question number D says, calculate the distance traveled by the car from 11 second to 15 second. So the area of the graph gives us the area of the graph gives us the distance. So it is a triangle from 11 to 15, and we can use half time base time height, so it is at 90. So half times base is 15 minus 11, which is 4, into 90. So our answer should be 180 meter. Okay, so this is the end of our video. Please subscribe our channel and share this to your candidate friends.